Hi guys, it's Grace from Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Wednesday, September 5th, and I am here today with my month 8 post-op VSG update. So just like last month, this month's update is a few days late because I have been in Austin. So I was in Austin, Texas for the past 5 days. I got back yesterday, and so yesterday I was finally able to have my sister take my photos and my measurements, and then I weighed in this morning, so a little bit late, but I think we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming this next month. Anyways, to get started with stats, again, my name is Grace. I'm 5'8", 27 years old, and on January 2nd, 2018, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or the VSG weight loss surgery. My highest weight ever recorded was 354 pounds in May of 2017. I was required by my insurance to do a 6-month medically supervised weight loss diet, and over the course of that 6-month diet, I lost 35 pounds, so my starting weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. Last month, I came in at a weight of 231.1, and this morning I weighed in at 223.9. So that is a monthly loss of 7.2 pounds, a loss since surgery of 95.1, and a loss since my highest weight of 130.1 pounds. Now, if you have been watching my videos, you might note that that weight of 223.9 is not my lowest weight. Last week, last Tuesday, I weighed in 220 point something. So I'm actually 3.3 pounds heavier than my highest weight. My lowest weight. So Austin, I ate a lot of food, a lot of carbs. There's definitely some water weight on there. I also had bounced up a little bit from that lowest weight. I only saw that for one day. And so I actually, from the weight I weighed in the morning I left for Austin until this morning, it's actually only about 2 pounds. But still, not my lowest weight yet. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. I am not surprised by it, and I expect that to go down as I jump back into my regularly scheduled eating. Measurements, so I'll go ahead and put the measurement thingamabob up on the screen. You can see I lost 1 inch from my bust, 0.5 inches from my chest, again that's like the bra band, 0 inches from my waist, 1 inch from my hips, 0 inches from my thigh, 1/2 inch from my calf, and then no inches from my bicep or my neck. So I only lost a total of 3 inches this month. It's kind of a low amount for a total inches lost of 60 inches. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a lot of weight lost or inches lost. But I do feel kind of different in how my clothes fit, so that's kind of surprising to me. But what can you do? That's what it is. August goals. So let's do a wrap up of how August went for me. I had a goal to hit all of my nutritional macros: 100 ounces of water, 1,000 calories or less, 50 net carbs or less, over 90 grams of protein. Overall, I did pretty good on that. I would say the only days I didn't hit the protein were some of my travel days. So both in Austin at the end of the month and Alaska at the beginning of the month, I think there were a couple of days where I didn't hit 90 grams of protein. For sure in Austin. I was worse about protein in Austin than I was in Alaska, just because I wasn't eating very frequently. I wasn't hungry, so we were really only having 2-3 meals a day. 2 meals a day and a protein shake, which I normally eat 5 to 6 meals a day to get my protein. So it just wasn't happening. What else? Oh yeah, carbs were way high when I was traveling, as were calories, but for the rest of the month, generally speaking, I was pretty okay with this. Went over, I think, on my calories more frequent, not by a lot, but more frequently than I wanted. So there were several days where I was 100 calories or less over, but still, that's that creep. You don't want to get that in there. But water, I was totally on point with. Step goal was 8K steps for August. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that was a lower goal than the past few months because I wasn't hitting 9K, so I lowered it. And I still didn't hit my 8K steps. I actually only had an average of 6.9. My steps were unusually low this month, and I want to say I don't know how that happened, but I do. Like I said, August was really busy for me. I had a lot of like commitments that involved being on the computer a lot. Sorry. So I had to do a lot of stuff online, and you can't really do stuff online when you're walking and moving about. So that just really cut into my walking time. I am hopeful that September will be better. My other goals were to get 2 to 3 workouts in a week at the gym, which I definitely did, and to look into doing yoga, which I also did. So I did yoga twice last month, and enjoyed it. So overall I did okay on my goals, but let's talk about how I want September to go. Again, I want to hit my nutritional goals, and I have a video what my macros are. I'll put that up above if you're interested, but 1,000 calories or less, 50 net carbs or less, 90 grams of protein or more, and 100 ounces of water. Those are kind of the main things I like to hit. I want to be really on point with this. I'm not happy about the weight gain from Austin, and I'm going to talk, I think, a little bit. I'm making a video kind of wrapping up Austin, and I'll talk a little bit more about my eating then in that video, but it wasn't entirely, I'm not entirely happy with it. And normally I'm pretty okay when I make conscious decisions to indulge, but I think I went a little bit more overboard than I should have, to the point where I'm just mentally kind of not in a great place right with that. But I'm going to talk more about that in Austin. It's not like the end of the world, but I really do worry about, I don't want that to creep into my average or my everyday life. So I really want to be super mindful of my macro goals, my nutritional goals. Again, I'm going to shoot for 8K steps, and that is also something that I want to be trying a little bit harder to hit and being a little less lax, I guess, when I'm not hitting it. I want to have an average of 8K steps a day, and I want to at least be hitting that 4 out of the 7 days a week. So that is my next goal. And then I'd like to continue doing the 2 to 3 workouts a week. And I think I'm going to add in yoga on Sundays. Sunday morning, they have a beginner yoga class at 8:15. That works really great with my schedule. It's a good level of yoga for me. And it's a good incentive for me to actually go and get to the gym on Sundays, because that's really been hard motivationally. It's been hard to get myself there. So adding that in, and then I'm going to try to do, I also want to do at least twice this month some kind of walk on Saturday. So either walking the lake or walking to town or something that will help me. Saturdays are often hard for me to get my steps in, so something to push me on Saturdays. So I think that's kind of it. Like I don't really have any monthly things to say, and I'm a little drained right now. Today has been a very emotional day for me for some reason. Nothing big, just like my hormones feel a little bit out of whack, and I don't feel, I'm not near my period, so I don't know why, but I'm just like very emotional today for things that I should not be emotional about. So yes, I'm gonna go and not eat my feelings, but first, photos. So as usual, we got me from the front. We have my before surgery, my photos from last month, and my photos from last night. It's funny, like, people talk about feeling fluffy, and I never really got that, but I do feel a little fluffy. And maybe that's why my measurements weren't as good as weren't as I don't know, dramatic or as I was expecting. But anyways, from the side as well, here I am. And then of course there'll be one from the back. Not seeing a huge difference from last month, if I'm honest. Some of the photos I felt like I looked bigger. But it's all about those angles. You can definitely tell that my shirt, I'm wearing the exact same shirt, underwear, and pants from when I was before surgery, and they're getting a little baggy, which is so bizarre. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, And I've got to go because someone is calling me. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.